What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have a new product from Vortex. It is very, very cool. One of their cooler releases are coming out with this year. It is the Vortex Viper shotgun enclosed micro red dot. Essentially, they took their Viper pistol enclosed red dot and they put a mount on it that allows you to screw it down to a lot of long guns and shotguns and stuff like that that are drilled and tapped for that type of stuff. And it sits extremely low. I think this is going to be extremely popular in the hunting worlds, the turkey hunting, wing shooting, sporting clays, and even self-defense and tactical. Like I threw mine on a shockwave just to be funny, and I think it's going to be very popular in all of those fields. Now, there's three main things I want to talk about right away. One is going to be the mount. The mount on this thing is the unique part. First off, it sits extremely low. There's no accessory plates, there's no brackets, there's no nothing. The mount is going to screw right in to a lot of popular shotguns. Now on the Vortex website, there is a fit guide. I will put a link down in the video description. If you're not sure, there's a fit guide that not only tells you which shotguns it works with, but also which of the included screws to use so they make it idiot proof on that fit shot as well. But if it's drilled and tapped, there's a good chance it's going to work because there's two channels. They call them universal mount. There's a front channel that's extremely long and a rear channel that's a little shorter, and then another screw hole in the back, and that's going to allow it to work with a wide variety of shotguns. Vortex suggests that you do at least 2 screws, with 3 screws being better. So I was able to put in all 3 on this shockwave, so 2 is minimum, 3 is better. Second, let's talk about the reticle. So you can get this in just a 3 MOA reticle if you want, but it's also available in a multi-reticle system, and I highly recommend you look at and consider the multi-reticle system. There's 7 different reticles available. And the cool thing about it, and what we did at the Vortex facility a couple months ago, is you can tailor so you have a dot and a circle, and you can tailor the shot pattern to the size of the reticle. So depending how far you're shooting and the type of load you're shooting, nothing too far, of course, you can customize like the size of the turkey's head based on the reticle or the wing bird and all that stuff. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. So a 3 MOA dot for precision shooting, a 32 MOA circle more for full choke, 65 MOA circles more for modified choke, and then you can combine all of those. So you can do the dot by itself, you can do the dot with one of the circles, both of the circles together, the dot with the circles, you get the idea. There's a lot of different variations how you can set it up for whatever load you're shooting. And the way you change the reticle, if you notice, both buttons are on top, which is kind of unique. And if you push both buttons at the same time, that's going to allow you to scroll through all of the different reticles. So the reticles are pretty cool, very well thought out, excellent. The third thing I want to point out is an enclosed emitter, and I think this is even more important on a shotgun than it is going to be on a handgun. Most of the time with a handgun, unless you're a police officer, that handgun's going to be under your shirt concealed for most people, and this is going to be out in the elements, hunting, whatever else. So the body is aluminum, 6061 aluminum, excuse me, and it does have an enclosed emitter. So if it's raining or anything else, you're not going to get crap blocking that emitter and missing your shot, because that would not be cool. All right, the controls do have a couple unique features that I want to talk about, but before I do that, let me quickly thank Natchez. I know it's Doc back there, but you can see the flag. Natchez is the biggest supporter of my channel. I like to thank them in every video. Hunting, fishing, camping, pew-pews, reloads, optics, all of that good stuff. They have a ton of optics and a ton of Vortex products. I don't know if they're gonna have this particular Vortex. I really hope they do, because it's gonna be popular, I think. I'm making this video before it's released, so I don't know if they're gonna have it, but I hope they do, because it's gonna be very popular. But either way, thank you to Natchez. If you need any of that stuff, Natchez is a great place to start, and there's a link you know where. So as I mentioned earlier, the controls for the increase and decrease the brightness, turning it on and off, are on top, and I think that's a little unique. And I like it as far as making it easy to control the shotgun. Like you have your shotgun out and you can just go up and down with it. And I don't know if it's going to be any more or less likely to get bumped. I guess it depends what you're using it for, but I like it. And it works well. There's 12 brightness settings. There's actually 10 daytime and 2 night vision. I can't imagine too many people are going to use this under nods based on it's more for hunting and sporting clays, but I thought that was cool. You press either button to turn it on. the minus to turn it off. Again, a quick press of both buttons will allow you to scroll through the reticle. And then if you hold both buttons down, it's going to allow you to enable or disable the auto off. Like a lot of red dots, if you leave it, it's going to turn off automatically. The second it senses any motion, it will turn right back on, and that's instant. You won't even notice. The auto off is 10 minutes with this red dot. I don't see any need to turn it off, but if you want to, you can. The battery is a side load 2032, which is good. You don't have to take the red dot off of your shotgun or whatever you have it on to replace the battery. And it's 50,000 hours on setting 6. And I love how much detail Vortex gives you when it comes to the battery life. There's a chart on their website or in the manual that I'll pull up here on the screen, and that's 50,000 hours on setting 6 if you're just using the 3 MOA dot and you have the red dot on for 24 hours. So if this is staying in a safe and that auto off is kicking on, that battery life is going to get extended considerably depending on how much you use it. So that, I wish every company made a chart like that. As far as the lens and the red dot from my eyes is extremely clear, crisp. There's no blooming. I do not have astigmatism, but the dot is super, super clear. I'll say the window is clear as well. I think the dot is exceptionally clear and the window is good. It does have an spherical lens, which I would expect it to be pretty good then. Windage and elevation are fairly standard, one on the back, one on the side. Each click is going to be a 1 MOA adjustment. You have a total range of 100 MOA adjustments. I think that's more than enough for, especially for something that's going to be on a shotgun. You're not going to be shooting this guy out 1,000 yards or anything. There's another really useful chart in the manual, I believe. Once again, I'll pull it up here on the screen. It shows you each click on how much your zero is going to be adjusted based on the distance you are from the target. So obviously you're probably going to be zeroing this in much closer than a traditional rifle or maybe even a handgun. And I think this chart makes it extremely easy to know exactly how many clicks you need based on the typical distance you're going to be shooting. So that was very helpful. All right. Weight, size, dimensions, all that stuff is up here on the screen. Now keep in mind, with the way Vortex does it, like a lot of companies, that this is their MSRP, not the street price. You are probably going to see this significantly less than the prices I have up here on the screen. The prices, this is what you'll see on the Vortex website. When you go to buy it at a dealer, there's a good chance it's going to be significantly less than what you see. It's waterproof, it's fog-proof, it's shock-proof, and it does come with Vortex's awesome lifetime warranty. Let's chat about the testing, okay? So I did put this red dot on my Mossberg Shockwave. I'll explain why in a second. And I brought it to the range and I did some basic shooting. It was all birdshot, and I just did some basic self-defense type shooting. I shot some steel, some other targets. I pretended to be the Terminator out there with my Shockwave, and I had some fun. And I just wanted to see what it was like on a self-defense rifle, because when we were out at the Vortex facility a few months ago, and Vortex flew me out there, I don't know what they were thinking, like they thought that was worth it, but I was honored to be there. Anyway, when we were there, I believe we shot some Benelli semi-autos and some Mossberg turkey guns that were also semi-auto. Don't quote me on the brands, but we shot a few different guns with different types of ammo at different distances to see how it relates. The different loads relate to the different reticles at different distances. We shot some slugs, I believe, as well, and it was really cool to see the advantage. Like we had some paper turkey targets, and at certain distance you're hitting. It was just really cool. So if you are going to get one of these, go out there with your load at different distances and different reticles and figure out what's going to work for you in most situations, because they nailed it with the reticle. I put it on my Mossberg Shockwave for a couple different reasons. One, I wanted to be a little different. Everyone's going to be showing this off for what it's designed for the turkey hunting, for the wing shooting, maybe sporting clays, stuff like that. But I'm more of a tactical self-defense shooter, and I wanted to put it on my Mossberg. Plus, my other two Mossbergs, I have two full-size Mossbergs, and I thought all three of my Mossbergs were drilled and tapped, and they were not. So this was literally the only option, but I said I'm gonna roll with it and put it on a little self-defense shotgun to be unique because no one else did it. And I will say it's so much easier, like a lot of guns, it's so much easier to shoot this little shotgun fast and accurate than it is without. I mean, it makes a huge difference, especially, you're not having that third point of contact in your shoulder with this shotgun. I know it's not a shotgun, but I'm going to call it that, like you do full-size shotguns. So this red dot makes a huge difference on a Shockwave. Anyway, let's talk about the pros and the cons before you guys get out here. I love the unique design. Vortex killed it. It sits extremely low with no accessory plates or mounts or anything. It sits super low, and you don't need to lift or adjust your head off of the cheek weld like you would if you're shooting your bead front sight or whatever you have. I love that it's enclosed, being you're going to be out in the elements. The controls are good and simple. The battery life is great, and again, I love how it was designed. They took what a hunter or a sporting clays person would need ideally for an enclosed red dot, and that's what they gave you. So they put thought behind it, and I have nothing I would change. I think it's dope. I think they're going to sell an ish ton of these. It's going to be one of their most popular releases of the year, especially because it's fairly affordable as well. They have a lot of other new products coming, and yeah, I think overall, I think everyone should know how to shoot irons, whether they be a pistol, a shotgun, or a rifle. But there's no doubt shooting a red dot on any three of them with enough practice will make you a better shooter, a more accurate shooter, a faster shooter, and a shotgun is no different. I shot this and the guns at Vortex faster, more accurate. There's no doubt. Red dots are the way. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. All right, Nacha is the biggest supporter of my channel. Thank you to them. The shirt is from TriStar Trading. Links to both of them are down below. Thank you to Vortex for supporting this channel. I'm not sure why they're supporting this small but growing channel, but I greatly appreciate them supporting me. If you want to support me, why don't you click the subscribe button? I just hit 60,000 subs, which is awesome, but I want to get to 100,000 subs this year, which is not going to be difficult. So if you think I deserve it, click the subscribe button. Maybe if you're feeling funky, hit like and comment as well. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed. Be good. Peace.